What's up, ladies and gents? Thanks for stopping by. Social Nurse here. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Excuse any noise that you hear in the background. At the time of making this commentary, having some repairs done. But did you all know that the current Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, was originally banned from entering China in 2020 due to his vocal criticism of Chinese policies regarding Hong Kong and the Uyghur minority, right? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that the right way. Uyghur. Uyghur is an ethnic group in China. There are several ethnic groups in China. I think the largest one is the Han ethnic group. But if not several, there are a few ethnic groups in China. And Marco Rubio spoke out about that. Now, I'm going to talk about the fact that he's actually going to China, even though he was banned as a senator in 2020. We know that he's our Secretary of State, and Marco Rubio is a firecracker, in my opinion, right? Listen, he's huge on emphasizing that, people who are determined to that are doing harm to the United States, be it they are legally here or not legally here, can hit the door, can get the heck out. So I'm going to talk about a mayor out of Arcadia, California, that has pled guilty to being an agent for the CCP for China, right? I'm going to talk about that as well. So there's a couple of different things I'm talking about in this commentary. The fact that Donald Trump and team, there'll be several billionaires going with Donald Trump to China to discuss business matters, commerce, economy. And I think we need to pay attention to this because there's already been complaints about how everything's made in China, right? Everything we like to consume. We have a lot of manufacturing and goods done outside of the United States. Donald Trump has talked about bringing manufacturing those things back to the United States, but I'm not so sure about the Chinese. Respectfully, I do not know how trustworthy opening up more American commerce to the Chinese would be, right? So they may actually invest more into the United States. Chinese and the Chinese companies own a lot of things and properties and businesses in the United States, right? Some of their people have gotten citizenship through birthright citizenship and tourism. I think it's something to be concerned about. A lot of people talk about Chinese being part of the model minority, but Chinese have done a lot of crime here in the United States. It just doesn't get talked about a lot, right? So I'm going to start doing more commentary about immigrant Chinese that came over to America and took the opportunity to do things that are illegal in America, right? There's all kinds of crimes concerning smuggling substances that are illegal, scams that Chinese have done here in the United States. Besides birth tourism, right? They've come through the border illegally. And we need to talk about this, right? Because you'll have these people within our country that believe our borders should just be opened or anybody should be allowed to come into this country, right? And not everyone that comes into this country is coming for good, right? There are people that are coming to the United States in order to undermine the nation, or at least the state that they are in. Let's talk about this lady. Before I talk about her, with Marco Rubio accompanying President Donald Trump, what's going to happen? Is Marco Rubio going to be allowed to get off the plane and walk with President Donald Trump and team into whatever, location in Beijing that this discussion will take place? Or will China pull some sort of stunt once the United States team lands there and say, oh, no Marco Rubio? What is going to happen with that? I'm interested in hearing everything that goes on with this discussion in Beijing. Interestingly, Trump and team are going to Beijing. They weren't summoned to come to the United States, right? But again, China deposits people all over the place, right? And Chinese aren't boisterous, but they quietly get things done. And that includes illegal activity, behavior by some of their people. So this lady in Arcadia, California, Eileen Wang, according to what I read on the Department of Justice website, she might not even be legally a citizen. There might be some fraud going on with that. But however, we're going to call her a citizen for now. She immigrated to the United States 30 years ago, right? And she's successful. She's taking advantage of the opportunities, right? And again, some of these people that are talking about the opportunities, this, that, they are doing what they are doing fraudulently, right? So she's successful. She's 58 years old now. Even her fiance has been convicted of being a spy, an agent, right, for China. This lady was on city council. She becomes mayor. So that means she probably voted for herself. And if she is not a citizen legally, right, there's questions. That's another crime, voting, right? But she has admitted to acting on behalf of the CCP for China. And where she lives, there is a huge Chinese population that reads the type of media that she puts out, right? And a lot of what is being put out by her on this website promotes CCP ideology, right? And tries to do it in a way that undermines the United States of America. It speaks positivity about the CCP. And it's being reported that the Chinese powers that be over there in China, these CCP people, even were in charge of okaying or saying that what she was putting out there was what they actually wanted. They praised her for it, putting out this propaganda, this pro-CCP propaganda, this anti-American, if you will, propaganda. It's problematic. This lady was an agent. She was not registered as someone acting on behalf of China. She was doing this stuff without permission, and I'm not sure if she should be immediately deported, right? I think if she is a citizen, she should definitely be denaturalized, right? Take that citizenship back. But would, she's pleading guilty. She could face up to 10 years, right? I'm thinking a harsher sentence. It might be too comfortable for her to be immediately deported. Denaturalize her immediately, but make her serve time. I'm thinking life in prison forever here in the United States. I think that being deported back to China, because that's where she's originally from. She's supposedly a naturalized citizen. I think deportation would be too comfortable. She'd live well over there. I'm thinking life in prison, right? This lady was an agent. It's espionage. It's treason, right? That's what it is. What are your thoughts, social nurse?